Hello everybody, it's Ken Faulkner. I'm going to do another knife video. It's kind of a filler. I got a knife being delivered, supposed to come in last night. You know how that goes, right? And you're watching that, the tracking, and it's telling you it's like 6 o'clock at night and it says, oh, it'll be delivered by 9 p.m. And then 9 p.m. comes and then all of a sudden, oh, we just realized. They knew all along. They just didn't want to fess up to it. Anyway, it is what it is. I know I shouldn't stress about that stuff, but I was hoping to do the video on that new knife today. But now I'm coming up with, I'm watching all these YouTubes, the end of the year stuff, and everybody's doing their, top 10 this, top 10 that. I thought I'd do my own top 10, a little different than probably what everybody else is doing. Most people are doing like top of 2024. So my problem with that is in my head, it's hard for me to keep track of what came out this year. And my collection is even the things I bought this year. If you saw my 2024 purchased video, a lot of stuff from older before 2024. So trying to figure out, okay, what was 2024, what wasn't. And even when other people who were more on top of it than me, which is most people, they still say, oh, I don't remember if this was 2024 or not, that kind of thing. So I'm just bypassing all that stuff and going straight into just maybe a harder category to define, but vibe knives. I know Scab over Choir Boys Cutlery, Choir Boys Outdoors, sorry. Used to be Choir Boys Outdoor Cutlery. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about if you've been around. He's always talking about a vibe knife, and I think everybody kind of gets a feel, but everybody probably has a little different definition. For me, it's not always like the ones that are most valued to me. Like, certainly you get ones as gifts. Certainly you get ones that you chased for a long time. Certainly you get ones that, for whatever reason, it has a special meaning. This is more like I look at the knife, I pick up the knife, and it's like, it's kind of evergreen for me. It's like I just really like all the aspects of it, from cutting to opening, closing, to carrying, look of it, all that kind of thing. So it's just vibe. Hope that makes sense. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So I got 10 that I've picked out. It's hard to do. If I did the same category tomorrow, it may be a different set of knives. Probably some of these would still be there, but it may be slightly different. So we put these knives up here on their ends so you can't tell what it is, but I'm sure looking at these things, you know what a bunch of these guys are. And I'll try to make it quick because, this is like I said, it's filling material, because I've been trying to do one video a day, every day. And I've kind of been keeping up with it. I don't know if I can hold on to this pace coming in the next year. We'll see how it goes. At some point, I'll probably slow down. I've been going back through my collection for a while, but there's only so much of that you can do. So let's go into it. No specific order, because, like I said, the whole concept of which one fits this category may change from day to day to a certain extent. All right, let's start over on the left-hand side. We got Devo Knives, the Stout, the very first design. This is the version 1, which obviously wasn't called version 1 when it came out. But Kevin and Colin from Devo Knives, obviously Lefty is Kevin, came up with this design. And I picked this one up at Blade Show. Got a chance to talk to the guys at the booth. They're so cool and easy to talk to. It's not like, I don't know, YouTube. I mean, are we famous? I don't know, maybe a Metal Complex or somebody like that. Lefty's definitely well known, but he's so down to earth. Him and Colin, of course, he's been a designer for a long time. And anyway, this is where I really started looking at the different kinds of carbon fiber. really wasn't that. I was more of like just a micarta guy, even G10 back then. But yeah, and then the sheep's foot blade. Still to this day, I mean, I like it, but it's not my favorite. But this one is just a really, I mean, the action on it's just amazing. A lot of the reasons why it's a vibe knife for me is going to be a little hard to put into words. I actually like a wire clip. I know some people do, and other people don't. I know the look of it's not that great, but it doesn't bother me at all. So I mean, that's kind of why I love the frame locks that are not exposed all the way down. And yeah, it just, the weight of the blade, it comes down real smooth, just drops, but not too fast. It's not just swinging; it just kind of drops. And when you flick it out, because of the weight of it, I don't know where the center of gravity is, but the weight of the blade is really good. I guess that's where you want it, right? Where your finger's gonna be, but then maybe you're holding it this way. Reversible clip, obviously, you know, lefty's got to have a reversible clip. What was the steel on this guy? This one is a 20 CV, so it's definitely legit steel. One of the top ones at the time when this was made, so didn't have the Magna Cut back then. Great knife. Let's go to the next one. 8010. Now I had an old one, just the stock one with the black. And just, you know, I believe it's S35, S35 VN. I had the stock one, and then I ended up getting this one on secondary from Nick Edwards. Check out his channel. He's got great taste in knives. He's starting to really build his collection back up. So he kind of got into some situations where he ended up selling a lot of the stuff, and then he's building it back up, and it's just exciting to see where he goes and where he's gonna go. But he bought this one, put the scales on, put the clip on, and sent this guy over to Satu Dave for the grind, which is amazing on this big thick. If you know the 8010, it's just it's not known to be slicey at all, but now Satu Dave got this one really thin here. I mean, you know, it is amazingly thin and slicey for an 8010. I've always liked how solid this knife was. Here I'm trying to push over the liner, which is not what it is. It's a back lock, but the action on it is okay. I mean, I've gotten used to it as long as you are careful and get that finger up here, because if you're coming down with the blade, it is dropping fast once you disengage that lock. So you really got to get that index finger up there far enough so that it hits on the non-sharpened part. And I've gotten used to that, kind of learned that the hard way. You can slow roll it. Yeah, great knife, big heavy duty knife. You know, I got a few heavy duty knives, but this is my favorite, I think. And next one is the Shaman. Classic knife. I had, like, when I was going through this list, I ended up with over 20 to begin with, and 3 of them were Spydercos. I ended up settling down to this one as I got down to 10. The Shaman was always one I wanted, and I like the weight of it. You know, the Spydercos are very thin and slicey for the most part, unlike the 8010. But this one is definitely thicker, but still slicey at the same time. It's got these amazing scales put on it. Added the compression made easy, CME, from OCD for EDC. If you want to check that out, it's got a website where he sells a bunch of stuff, including those. The clip got changed out. I mean, this one has got pimped out before I bought it. Again, Nick, the guy's got such great taste, and you know, he didn't want to sell this knife. There's a lot of knives he didn't want to sell. I ended up buying them because they're just so amazing, you know. And he will build back up. I mean, when you hear him talk about like knives he's had in the past, he's had so many. I mean, then this would be before I started watching his channel. All the knives that he talks about, he is definitely a guy that knows about collecting knives and what is a premium knife. This is a premium knife. All right, next one. Oh, this is kind of surprising, really, but not to me because I've had this one for so long. But I just really love the action on it. It's the Ku22. I've shown it on videos before because I like it so much. Now this one is that thin slicey, similar to a lot of the Spydercos. Maybe inspired by that. I do like the tip on this one, very acute tip on it. And the action and the feel, it's a smaller knife for me for sure. No place to choke up really, but it fits my four fingers and it just feels really comfortable in my hand. Action, just when I grab it out of the pocket, I just go to flick it out and there's like no hesitation on where my finger goes. You know, how do I get it to flick out? Everything just works on it. It's got a great thumb ramp, very Spyderco-ish. But that's a Ku22. The least expensive on this group, but it's not always about price, right? Here we go, VAS. We got the this is the VAS Chaos. Man, I like this one from the beginning. I've always liked the guy that does these RSK knives. He's a custom maker. Oh man, to get one of his customs would be so awesome. I got his mini Paragon from Kaiser years back. I really liked it. It's just kind of a wild looking knife, but it just vibes with me. I love these like milling that matches up on the blade. It's a little bit wild. It's got this very thick portion back here, and I guess if you really want to cut something and you're worried about what you're going to do to your edge, this has a lot of support to the edge, but very thin up in the front. Just a cool looking knife. It's got that top liner lock. I really like that. Titanium. Very nice from VAS. I think VAS is really doing some great stuff, and this is probably my favorite from them. At least five-wise. At very least five-wise. All right, now we're on to the Towser K. This is a Kaiser. 14C 28, no, this is a 154 CM. I guess I didn't go through. I think this was D2. I think this one I don't know. The steel thing isn't like as big of a deal to me. It's 15V though. Which is cool about that one. I mentioned S35 and the 20CV, and this guy is a M390. So then now we're at the 154 CM. This is another one that just kind of fires out. I mean, my finger just goes to the right place on the thumb stud. Reverse flick. I could thumb it too, but reverse just feels just so natural. The handle is got a great grip. Now this was bought for me as a gift by my girlfriend. But I try to keep that out of it. I just always have like the Towser K. The knife, it's nice, good size for a Kaiser. Some of them tend to be small for me, but this one's got a great size. So Towser K. And then I got, we're going to Tempest knives, KC from Knives Fast. I got a lot of his stuff. Most of his knives I have something from. I think there may be one or so that I don't. Maybe even not, I don't know. Got quite a few, but this is my favorite. This is the one he did with Concept because he can get the inlay and it's got this really cool carbon fiber. Some kind of Arctic something or other, or I don't know. Names are hard, but it's got micro milling on here and the action is amazing. Blade shape is really cool. Nice drop point, spear pointy kind of look to it. Yeah, definitely vibe with this one. Handle's nice because it's contoured, but it's got enough thickness that it fills my hand. Just a really, really great knife. Moving on. This guy is more recent to the collection. 2024. It's the Enosi. Definitely a grail. This was a grail. There's not that many of these here that I would consider a grail, but this definitely is one. And you know, I watched them from afar for so long, and it always looked like a cool knife, but when I got it in a hand, it really changed my feeling about Chris Reeve knives. Up that to a new level because it just is a great feel to the knife. The action's, very much the smooth. I can flick it out, but it's not real smooth action or anything. It's just, it feels great in hand, and it is just a basic concept of a knife done in a very awesome fit and finish. Just the quality of it, everything about it. These little inlays are very cool. Just the quality is there, and the knife is a solid design. Kind of like the 8010, just very solid knife. So yeah, it's really surprising when you get one in hand. I mean, I've handled them before, but really owning one is where you feel it. You feel the difference over time. Another one that was a grail for me is the Hinderer XM18. Another just solid knife. Great worker. This just wants to go out and work. You just want to go out and cut stuff, heavy stuff, anything really. You don't feel like you're afraid to use it, even though it is an expensive knife. It's got this nice micarta on the scale here and titanium here. It's got that cool Hinderer look with all the screws. They got the captured screws here and the screws out over on here that you take it apart with. Do that flat head on there. Yeah, it's just a cool knife. I had the 0562 from Zero Tolerance that I had on the list before I had to make the cut, and I ended up cutting it because I had that one years before I had this one, and I loved it so much. And once I got this one, I realized that there's an inspiration there, but this is just a step above. With this finger choil up here, the fact that you can actually flick off the studs like the 0562, you can't because they're really just stops. They are stops here, but they give you that room to be able to get that thumb flick in, and even a reverse flick. Great action, great quality. Again, like CRKT Hinderer puts these things out, very well-made tool. Well-made tool, a tool that you got in your toolbox. You're always going to use it. You can always count on it. It's not going to break on you. It's not going to fail on you. Not going to bend. Nothing's going to go wrong when you got these great knives. And then another one is one that I really didn't expect to like so much, but it's the Voodoo from Null Knives. I just love that black with the micarta. The look is very cool. These thumb studs are very cool. Just the milling on it, the way this top swedge is like a hollow kind of grind on the swedge. It's a lot to it. This little tip here, I've seen some that have this kind of little scalloped kind of tip that I don't like, but this one I really like. And the hollow on it is so nice. I mean, action is great. Jimping's there, really good. Yeah, really like that. I don't think you can front flip it. It's not high enough, but you don't need to. The action's just so good. So Null Knives Voodoo, another one from the Vibe group. Now, I'm gonna try to do these quick because we're already 18 minutes in. But I also kind of said I'm gonna do first we'll go through some honorable mentions because I do not just collect modern folders. That's my main thing. That's why those all 10 got there. But I do have a bunch of fixed blades, and I just kind of picked this one as my favorite just because it's a good carrying size. I have other ones. If I could just carry like a bigger knife, maybe another one would be the one. But this is such a great EDC size. This is Blackwater Knife Company, Tim School of Fish, made by Very Good Knife Company. This is the snook, and with this handle material, it's the pistachio because it's got a kind of a pistachio kind of look to that. Just a great knife, great size, feels great in the hand. Great carry with this ulti clip. So yeah, that's the one I picked as my favorite from the fixed blades. I got a lot more slip joints, so I had to pick one out, and of course it's a Jack Wolf. I like this one because it's like a Barlow kind of design, and it's got this really awesome ram's foot, I guess you would call it. I like all the Jack Wolfs, but this chaotic resin is just puts it over the top for me. The Barlow shape, the usable blade is very good. So that was my pick for my slip joints. And then I don't have hardly any OTFs. I got like 3. So this was way above all the other ones, higher quality, more money spent. In California you can't carry these things, so I don't collect them. I guess when I retire, I'm getting out of here. Just the taxes are too high, costs, everything's too high. Love the weather. I like the people and the environment and everything like that. But I would love to be able to collect some more OTFs and carry them. But I know that Knife Rights is working on it, and maybe they'll be able to pull it off. Things seem to be changing in California a little bit. I think people are starting to realize that some of these things I mentioned about that are kind of intolerable need to change. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a change in this. But anyway, this one is the No Limit. What is the name of it? It's because I don't carry it that much. Night Stalker. The Night Stalker. OTF. So that's my favorite of my 3 OTFs. Not many at all. Okay, guys. Another category, just real quick. I thought this would be kind of funny. That doesn't belong in there. Got 5 knives. I picked 5 of the knives. Why did I buy these knives? Why did I buy them? We'll start with this one. This is the JSWS. Man, I mean, it's just weak. I don't know. I mean, any of these knives you could use. You could use it as a knife. If you just wanted a knife. The thing is that I'm collecting now, and things get much more picky and all that kind of stuff. So the action is weak. The blade is not that great. It's got some play, and the centering is pretty horrible. I bought this. I know Frida Frog, when he was doing a lot of his videos, and we used to text back and forth quite a bit, and he was telling me about this company that wanted to send him some knives. So I thought that was really cool because he was a smaller channel back then, and as was I, and he was actually trying to get them to send me some stuff too, but they never got in touch with me, probably because I was less exciting of a channel. Anyway, JSWS. I bought it kind of to support. But if it were to disappear, I wouldn't search too long to find it. This one cracks me up, though. This one, it's definitely assisted. I mean, it pops out. It might as well be an automatic the way it works. But the weird rules that they have, where if you flip the flipper tab to get it to come out rather than push a button, I don't get it. MTech USA. There's no way this is made in USA, guys. Bottle opener. Got the tension getter. It's liner lock. Mirror finish. That's painted on. They painted on some kind of chrome thing, I think. Anyway, it's funny and it's fun with all these little hexes in there. I don't know if you can put a 1/4-inch hex bit in there and turn it. I don't know if it's a tool. Crazy tip down carry only, which I know a lot of people love, but I just can't even deal with it. CRKT. I bought this. I was on a work trip, and I was just getting into collecting and stuff like that. Wanted to go buy a knife. Went over to the Walmart that they had there. This is in Illinois, I think, or somewhere like that. Can't remember exactly which trip it was. But anyway, I was looking at different knives. I was looking at a Buck 110. I think I should have gotten that. That was actually at a different store, but then I'd heard about the M16, and I didn't realize this is the M1601KS. I didn't know they had different versions of them, and it was really cheap price. And now I know why. It's got like these I don't know, nylon washers or something, so the action is not good. I've tried to play with getting the action down. You got to be real careful with the lock bar on this thing. I'm pretty sure this is steel. Anyway, the blade's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the blade. The action's just terrible. It's very thin in both directions in my hand, so it just kind of just doesn't ever feel comfortable no matter what I do. CRKT, I mean, I have a few of them. I don't mind, but this one, yeah, I could do without. Now, the regular M16 that's a bigger size, maybe that would be different. I've never actually tried it out. Maybe because I had this one. This one could go. Effing grow. This is way back, and this is back when they were very suspect on their steel. They called it D-tube, and I think some people had tested it and found out they were not doing it correctly, or it wasn't really D2 at the time. I think that's changed more recently from what I've heard. But I remember seeing this and thinking, wow, look at the coolness of it. You know, it's very fantasy-like. And, you know, it's not that bad. But I remember I wanted to try to improve the action on it, and I was trying to take it apart. They must have Loctited the crap out of this thing because I had stripped everything. I ended up having to cut my own flathead on this thing because I couldn't even get it. I started to get it apart just enough before it's stripped to get the blade super loose. So I cut that flathead just enough so I could tighten it. I never ended up taking it apart, never was able to do anything with it. Kind of a crazy looking handle. The clip's kind of crap. But anyway, I was just taken in by how big it was. Just, I think I was starting to realize how much I liked big knives at the time. And, you know, this was all that stuff. So, I mean, like I say, it's a usable knife. It's got a recurve there, the dual grind, everything. But, yeah, there's just too much about it. Some bad blood under the bridge here with that whole thing. So, yeah, it can go. And then the next one, this was actually in a giveaway. I was excited about it at first because I wanted to see what this Ozark Trail thing was all about. The problem is that there's like no detent on it. And I don't know if I could strengthen the detent. Is there even a ball in there? I don't know. But, you know, it's got to be on washers of some sort. And it's just, you know, you're basically two-handing it. Speed holes. I know some people like them. I have nothing against you liking them, but just know that I don't. I do have some knives with speed holes that I like a lot, but it just adds to the not being too thrilled about this knife. The size of it's not that great. You know, I love getting a giveaway, and of course there's other stuff in there, swag and stuff like that. Very happy to get, but yeah, and then we're talking about the tip down carry again, you know. So this one can go. All right, guys, that's it. Just a little fun video, something to pass the time while I'm dealing with my frustration over this other knife. I think it's out for delivery now, so hopefully I'll have it out. Maybe I'll put it out that video today too. Who knows? So we got vibe knives that I could do without. A couple other ones from different categories as what do they call that? Runner up or whatever. That's it, guys. That's what I got for you this morning, and hope you guys are having a good holiday season. Got New Year's coming up, so I will see you on the next one. Bye.